determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment, and by Proforma, Elite Texas Graphics, live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome to the final round of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, live from the virtual Road America here tonight. My name is Tyler Max, and I am joined by Brad Klink tonight in the commentary booth. We have an exciting night of racing here. 60 minutes of action, we will see. We're currently in qualifying right now by Proforma Elite Texas Graphics. But Brad, great to have you back in the commentary booth here for the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It's going to be an exciting final round, even though all of our champions will be crowned at the end of tonight.
So, Tyler, it's good to be back. A bit of a last-minute deal with Jonathan getting called away today, but it's nice to see the finale. Championships decided on the top steps for all of them, but I think that's just going to make it a pretty exciting still anyway, because those guys, they'll probably throw caution to the wind a little bit now that that's tied up, and I think we'll see some really good hard racing.
Yeah, we certainly will indeed. And now we have a few things to go over here before we start tonight's broadcast. First off, we're going to pull up the most improved driver through the season 16 here of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Steve Daniel takes that prize away, and he will be the most improved here in season 16 in the Mustang category. He'll start at 8th place tonight here. But the real big stories that we have here tonight is the new schedule and the announcement of the split categories for next season. First, let's take a look at your Sports Car Series schedule. You can see here we will have the Porsche Cayman make its debut here in the GT4 class, with the Audi RS3 LMS taking the track for TCR. That will be your SES. That'll be your SES field of cars, and you can see the schedule up on your screen. We started at Daytona for a 60-minute, then we head to Belle Isle. What about Laguna Seca in round 3? We've seen excellent racing there. And then a little bit of a different format for the Sports Car Series. We have a 75-minute race being our longest instead of a 90-minute. Watkins Glen will be the first of the rounds to host the 75-minute, and then it'll be Circuit Gilles Villeneuve next on the schedule at round 5. Then we'll go to Indy Road, Lime Rock Park, Canadian Tire Mosport, which will host our second and final 75-minute event for the season. And then we'll head Phillip Island, and then we'll cap it off at the Sebring International Raceway. What an excellent circuit to cap it off on. We've seen excellent action there in the past, and it will be incredible. Now let's check on the brand new series here that's coming to the Ricmotech family. You can see the Classic Sprint Series. This will be alternating weeks with the Sports Car Series for its next season. It'll have the Global MX-5 Cup car, which we all know and love. in the ST field, and then it will have the Ford Mustang in the GS field. Looking at your schedule to be the Daytona Road Course as well, it will actually mirror the same schedule as the other championship. It'll have Belle Isle in second, but this one, another bit different to its time formats. We will have 45-minute races being the primary format, 60-minute being the secondary format. But it'll be Daytona will start first, then Belle Isle, then it'll go on to Laguna Seca, Watkins Glen, Circus Jules Villeneuve, Indy Road, and to add, Watkins Glen will be our second, or our first of the 60-minute races. Then it'll be Canadian Tire Mosport, which will be our second of the 60 minutes, Phillip Island, and Sebring again to set off our season finale. What a schedule that is. What a big announcement.
Yeah, it's plenty of changes from this year there, Tyler, and particularly SCS. That's going to be quite intriguing to see how that plays out, because the Cayman and the Audi TCR on some tracks, their lap times are very, very similar. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because as we've been used to in the SCS, there's been a bit of a gap between the classes with the lap times and how the traffic flows, where that next season you could see those cars actually battling a lot harder on track.
Yeah, you certainly could next season. And I mean, this is something that I personally would love to. I think this is going to be awesome for the series, going to the Classic Sprint Series. I mean, what a name for that, because, I mean, that's really what it is. We're kind of throwing it back. Season 16 was the first season that I have personally commentated on, and I've been doing Ricmotech now for over a year, that the Mustang hasn't been the fastest class in our field of action this year. And I think it's just, I mean, we all know the Mustang MX-5 battles. They're always really, really good. They work so well in the series together for so long, and it's so great to see the series keeping them together. But it's also really cool because it gives the drivers that want to drive the MX-5, and that really is their bread and butter, or the Mustang for that fact, to venture out and try the Audi TCR, try the Porsche Cayman GT4, and as well race those cars in the series too. So I think that's just really, really exciting in general for both of those series, being that A, you're going to get people that are probably going to come across and run both, and then B, you're also going to have more of your IMSA style, which we've seen, and then more of your classical IMSA Michelin, or basically Michelin Pilot Challenge, was Continental Tire Challenge, kind of running orders as they were now and past.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a bit of a boost to participation with just having those two split now. People being able to run the same tracks, like 2 weeks in a row as well, and get really comfortable. So I'm sure it's going to be a healthy thing for Ricmotech overall, and wish them well heading into the next season.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like you said, there will be a lot of that whole, well, I may not need to go and race on the sports car series side, but it gives me a little bit of advantage heading into the classic series sprint or whatever, vice versa, however they want to run it. It basically, it's kind of just one of those things where, like you said, there's going to be a boost of participation across the board because drivers are going to be kind of moving around series, trying to get practice and just more seat time, now being that they don't really have races where they're weeks and weeks in a row.
Yeah, just looking at the schedule, so it looks like the Classic Series, the Classic Series kicks off, and then the SES follows. So the drivers in the SES, they may very well want to participate in the Classic Series as well, and really use that as a primer for their races the following week. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up when we start getting the registrations through. Looks like registrations open on Friday the 10th. So anyone that wants to get involved, jump on the Extreme Motorsports 99.com website and get those registrations in.
Yeah, exactly as you said. It will be wonderful to see that and to have all that. I am aware live timing is down. I do apologize for that. I'm just working on getting that back up momentarily. So you just have to bear with me here for just a few seconds, and then we will get the live timing up for your race here tonight. But we have just 20 seconds left in qualifying, Brad, and we'll just quickly kind of just run through your order as it sits. So I believe it was Kevin Carlisle fastest in your TCRs. I'm just having to do a quick restart of my live timing here. But I believe it was, yes, it is. Kevin Carlisle fastest in your TCRs. Really, is there any surprise there? He's been so dominant this season.
Yeah, I've not been able to keep track of the season as much because I wasn't covering the series. But yeah, he's always been a very strong driver. It looks like Whitworth he's followed up behind, and Matthew Madigan. So top 3 in TCR. Unsurprisingly, GS pole's been taken by Aero Nam. And looks like Cameron Martin now and Kevin Ford is round out top 3 in that class. And with the MX-5, DJ Alessandrini, followed by David Payton and Elvis Rankin. So that's the top 3 in each car there.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
really
try to get the full grid.
Yeah, no surprises there on your top 3. I think everybody is used to seeing those names up in the front. Now, the only one that I am kind of shocked to see is John Allen. He's sitting down right now in 13th place, so not ideal for him in his qualifying effort. We're definitely used to seeing him towards the front a little bit more, but what a showing it's been the last 2 weeks for Cameron Martineau and Kevin Ford. They have gotten themselves off to an amazing start here, or the amazing end to the season. Hopefully they can carry that momentum into next season if they do choose to run. I'm sure we'll see Kevin back. He is our series admin and does these wonderful things for us behind the scenes. So we do thank you, Kevin, for another season of hard work that you have put in. Now we have just a few more seconds. We actually have 1 minute and 50 left in qualifying here tonight, or left in waiting. We just have to kind of wait for everyone to come through, cross the line and whatnot, and then we will get on to the next bit of racing action.
Yeah, we just have John Allen and Travis Schwenke out on track at the moment. I know John's just towed, so just Travis that we're waiting on. He's just coming around on the in lap, I think.
Yes, like I said, we're just waiting on one more driver to come back in, and then unfortunately, iRacing will make us wait the entire minute that we have left. But we don't have too much longer. It does give us just a little bit of time to go ahead and just kind of look through a little bit more of your starting order. So we have an 8-car TCR field tonight. That's headed by Kevin Carlisle, and then it's Brandon Whitworth and Matt Madigan. He has been not as quick as he has been, honestly. Matt Madigan, he kind of fell off about the midpoint in the season, and then he's starting to pick it up again, starting to really find some more pace in that TCR. So we should see him hopefully back next season. Then it's Eric Violet, Riley Downey, who didn't race for the majority of the season, has only come in for select rounds, but when he has been quite quick. And then it's Tony Kernan, Edgar Santinelli, and Bobby Childs. That is your TCR grid here tonight. Then it's Aaron Nam topping your Mustang field, like you said earlier. No surprises there. Cameron Martineau is down in second. Good second week for him. This is the second week in a row now he's qualified off pole. And then it is Kevin Ford sitting down in third. Tyler Shiflett, a little bit of a lower qualifying for him, but he will be able to make it up. And then Daniel Rash. And then the one I'm really surprised for here, Mike Dam, starting himself all the way out in 6th place. But we got your full grid up on screen now, and we will quickly run through it here with you in the Ricmotech SportsCar Series. It will be Kevin Carlisle who will start on the pole position alongside Brandon Whitworth, Matt Madigan, Eric Violet, Riley Downey, Tony Kern, and Edgar Santinelli, and Bobby Childs. That is your 8-car TCR grid. And it'll be Aaron Nam, Cameron Martineau, Kevin Ford, and Tyler Shiflett. That will be your first 4 positions in your Mustang. It'll be Daniel Rash, Mike Dam, after a poor qualifying from him. Jeff Jacobs will start down at 15th overall. It'll be Steve Daniel, Clint Vigas, Rush Ruddick, and Robert Brist in to cap off your Mustang field. Then just start on pole in your ST field. It will be DJ Alessandrini, John Allen, will be alongside him. David Payton will be in third. Elvis Rankin in fourth. Robert Hartley fifth. Chris Thorman in sixth. Jacob Beasley seventh. Travis Schwenke eighth. Mitchell Peak in ninth. Brandon Hurin in 10th. Greg Mack, Jordy Fike, Derek Holland, Mike Taylor, Jason Bossy. That's your top 15. Then it's Nicholas Parsonum, Greg Brockway, Eric Chrysler, Michael Key, and it'll be Patrick Prevenos rounding out your grid here tonight. Now we have a we have a full pace lap here at America, so we have a bit of time to discuss before this race gets underway. I say a little bit. We have about a whole 4 minutes here until this race gets underway here tonight, but we should have an exciting race tonight. We have nearly 40 drivers taking to the grid, 39 drivers actually, exactly, taking to the grid here tonight in what will be the final event that all three of these classes will run together in a single race session. So it's a kind of a bittersweet moment for us. You know, we've had an entire season of incredible racing with these three classes. It'll be the last time that the TCRs have to go, the MX-5s have to deal with the ever annoying for them, I think, at this point, TCR cars that are trying to come through the grid, and the TCR cars as well. I mean, that is kind of the cool part about it, though, is it really mixes up the field, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're very different cars, very different strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, you got the front-wheel drive on the TCR, so those guys tend to be quite aggressive on the corner entry, sort of flicking those in, steering it with the throttle. So yeah, it's very different styles of driving, but it's always good to see that in multi-class racing. That's part of the charm of multi-class, is seeing those different cars and the way they perform in relation to each other, and then you really see the racecraft come into things when the drivers have to pick their way through the traffic. So and also the slower class drivers. I mean, they have to do a lot of heads-up driving to facilitate those passes sometimes as well. So I think it just improves everyone's racecraft all around. And yeah, just can't get enough of multi-class. It's probably my favorite style of racing.
Yeah, you really just can't get enough. I completely agree with that one. Now, we do have a few of camera views that we'll check out here for tonight. So we have our onboard here with Kevin Carlisle, your race leader. We will get an onboard lap with him a little bit later on in this event here tonight. And then Aero Nam as well. He is your pole sitter in your GS Mustang field. And then John Allen as well, pole sitter in your ST field. We'll get an onboard with every single one of those drivers a little bit later here on tonight. But it'll really be the story. I think this is something that we've seen time and time again this season, is the TCR field. Can anybody challenge Kevin Carlisle off the line? Because if it seemed to be that if they can challenge Carlisle off the line, that it becomes a bit harder for Kevin to be able to extend that gap. But if he gets out in front early, then it is smooth sailing for him, and he is just able to check out from the rest of the field. Hence why he has wrapped up the championship before we've even come in tonight's racing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the other guys will just sort of throw a bit of caution to the wind and get aggressive on Kevin here. There's once you got that top step of the championship sort of taken out of the equation, sometimes you see the gloves come off a little more than previous rounds. So just heading down through Kettle Bottoms now towards Canada Corner. Guys, we're doing a little bit of tyre warming there. One of the cars weaving a touch. So it's a tricky car on the cold tyres, this TCR. It's very, very hard to get temp into the rears. So we'll have to watch for that just in the opening couple of sectors.
Yeah, we certainly will indeed. Now, the other thing they have to their advantage, they are front-wheel drive. So at least if they do get a little bit sideways, they are able to catch it most of the time. And we do still have about a 4-second third and whatnot in your TCR field, I believe. So we'll have to see how everything plans out here tonight. It'll be Kevin Carlisle on the pole. It'll be Brandon Whitworth alongside him. Matt Madigan and Eric Violet, that'll be row 2 as they head up the hill and underneath the Caterpillar Bridge here at Road America. And we will get ready to go green for the final time in Season 16. We're green flag racing here from Road America. It'll be Carlisle and Whitworth drag race down to turn number 1.
And they're all staying 2x2 at the front there. Some good
a little bit of contact. Into the side.
No.
And it's Carlisle nearly losing it. Carlisle's into the wall. Whitworth's off as well. And that's a few more drivers getting involved. That's Eric Violet off the racetrack. Carlisle will still lead, but he will be passed by Madigan early. Let's get a replay on that one after we jump back here and we look at your Mustang field as they get through turn number 1 cleanly from the looks of it. No one around too quickly. And everybody, yes, is able to file through here in your Mustang field. A little bit of contact to do it, but they are able to. Now let's check back in on your MX-5s here, who are already 2x2. They've sort of gotten themselves figured out down into turn number 1. It's John Allen, DJ Alessandrini, and Elvis Rankin. Those are your 3 drivers here who are who are currently in the top 3. Then we have side-by-side action here for 4th. David Payton will take it from his teammate Chris Thorman. Travis Schwenke sitting back there in 5th, or 6th in the overall, 3rd in this battle, and then it'll be Robert Hartley down in 4th. Let's see if those two can get hooked up and go somewhere quickly. Riley Downey is slow. He is out of the race as well, but we'll try to get a replay of what happened on the starting grid. So we got side-by-side action here in your Mustang field. This is Martineau on the outside, Mike Dam on the inside. I knew he was going to come up fast, and he certainly did that here tonight. It's Kevin Ford currently sitting in 2nd. Daniel Rash sits in 3rd. And then it's Mike Dam, the ever-quick Mike Dam. He's been Aeronom's biggest challenger for the championship this season, but Nam has been able to outdo him here thus far tonight. Whitworth's off again. Oh, no, and he's in the wall once again. Let's jump back here. Let's just try to figure out exactly what happened to him. And he's going to slide and just barely clip the wall there. So not a huge, huge deal for him tonight.
Yeah, I've just lost my cameras for a moment there, but just trying to get that sorted. But in the meantime, just seen the race control message come up that incident is under review between cars 72 and 42. I believe that'd be Carlisle.
Yeah, so that was the incident that happened on lap number 1. Let's take a look at it here. And we'll see if we can't get you. Okay, let's try and move a little bit longer down this replay. So I'll try and sort out the correct replay here. Give me just a few moments to try and do that. And then we will get exactly what happened to those drivers quickly established. But right now, it's Carlisle leading. Actually, we have a battle for 2nd place in your GS field. This is Kevin Ford and Daniel Rash. Rash on the inside, Ford on the outside as they head up the hill. And then it'll be, Rash still on the out. Now Rash will go to the outside here. Ford will have the inside as they head through the crest there. And Mike Dam will follow through with Daniel Rash. And that'll also be Tyler Shiflett going through as well. So a little bit of contact there between Rash and Dam, but Ford nearly loses another spot to Shiflett. He's able to hang on to it. Some good driving there for Kevin Ford. He hangs on to 4th position right now.
And
Carlisle's
confirmation,
into the
Kevin
lane.
Carlisle. Yeah, he's got the black flag. Just coming in to serve that now.
So Carlisle
that's
will...
gonna, yeah, it's gonna pretty much put him right down behind all those TSCR drivers, other than Tony Conan, he's fallen behind the GS drivers, unfortunately, and Carlisle's actually gonna feed out right into the front of that pack there.
So Carlisle will feed out just in front of that pack here tonight. And we'll jump back forward here, and we'll actually take a... Actually, let's jump back forwards here. Let's take a look at your MX5 field. So it's DJ Allison Journey from John Allen, from Elvis Rankin. Those three are well and truly checked out from the rest of your field here tonight. That is for certain. They are gone from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I can see Rankin tucked right in behind Allen there. Not quite able to get an overlap heading into turn one, but at this stage of the race, probably just keen to not trip each other up too much and just work together to extend that gap, and then that way they can pretty much secure themselves a podium finish if they stay out of trouble, and then they'll fight that out towards the end. So yeah, the ruling there for car 38 was avoidable contact. That was Jeff Jacobs. Must have been another incident we didn't quite catch on camera.
And like I said, Brad, we did not catch that incident on camera. I think I may have gotten the tech issues at least somewhat sorted out here for the time being. And we can go back to watching your racing action here tonight. So it is Madigan leading a TCR from Eric Violet, from Edgar Sancinelli to Brandon Whitworth and Bobby Childs. Then Kevin Carlisle is a long way off the race lead, back in 6th place. So he has not had the greatest start to his season finale. He already has the championship wrapped up, but I'm sure he doesn't really care about that. He still wants to win here tonight for the Apex Racing team. But it's a nice three-way scrap here for the lead in your MX-5s. These three are, I mean, they've dominated these first few laps. They're currently up to 4.1 seconds over Hartley and Schwenke, and those two are a very dominant group, and I think that me and you can both agree on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to be interesting to see if they do fight, but yeah, at the moment it looks like they're happy to play nicely together. Just see how it goes down the straight here if with the draft, if either of these guys pull out to the side or if they're just happy to lift and stay behind.
Side by side here between Shiflett and Kevin Ford. Shiflett on the inside, Ford on the outside as they head up the hill here. This should be a pretty easy move here for Tyler Shiflett, but he backs out of it there, and Kevin Ford will get him on the exit, so it'll still stay Ford in 3rd. Shiflett will have to remain in 5th for the time being.
We're very close here, heading down Hurry Downs. And it's some varied lines coming through Carousel. It's a very tricky corner to get right. Some people like to take a later apex than others. Some like to get it hooked in early and just try to hug that curve around the inside, just to make sure that they aren't going to go wide onto the grass, because one wheel on that grass and it could be race over. Likewise at the kink.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, one little tiny bit into the grass, and really anywhere in these high-speed corners here at Road America can pretty much lead to disaster very, very quickly. Now, let's check on a little bit more of your battles, just a little bit further down in MX5, because we have this huge, massive group. This is stretching all the way here from Jacob Beasley at the head of this, back all the way down to around Jason Bossy. No, Derek Holland is actually the back end of this train right there, so a long, long way back this group goes indeed. I mean, it is very, very close between every single one of them. If I pull up this... Actually, no, sorry. I couldn't get that overlay to work. I wanted to, but if I pulled that up there, you would have seen just how close every single one of these people were together. You can see it there on the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, this is what we're used to seeing from the ST class, is the trains that form up. And if these guys here do work together quite nicely, the front three, they may not have this race all to themselves, particularly when the traffic starts to come through and break things up a little bit. So yeah, sorry, this train here with the tow, they'll be, particularly the guys towards the back there, like 4 or 5 back in this train, they'll be getting some top speed advantage. Might be able to push the other cars along a little bit.
Yeah, exactly right on that one. But one thing I just saw here, we have very close here between Mitchell Peak and Jacob Beasley. Beasley almost went for the move, but Robert Hartley, Travis Schwanke, and Chris Thorman, they're starting to catch your race leaders. They're now down to 3.4 seconds behind your race leaders here today. So they may have a nice chance at possibly getting themselves into the top 3 here. They've closed down a gap quite large already 0.3 of a second down, and we have only gone around 5 to 6 minutes since that's happened. So if they can do that for the entire race, they'll be a very nice position. We have side-by-side here as well between Whitworth and Edgar Santinelli. Whitworth will clear him easily out of the final corner and down onto the front straightaway now. We're currently 12 minutes into a 1-hour race, so just below 1/4 of the way through. We're hardly anywhere. We've already seen a good amount of action in this event thus far.
Yeah, definitely some close battles. I was just having a quick look down at the ST class, because there was one of the TCR cars was recovering, making his way through there, and did shake things up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes when the traffic starts proper. And just riding on board with Rankin here, you'll be able to see if he's... Yeah, it does look like he...
you can hear him lift.
Just easy, and he's lifting, yeah. So they're definitely working together, this front group. I think they've seen the gap hasn't really gone out as much as they probably would have hoped to the next train behind. And see how this TCR car affects things as it comes through. There's a chance it could break the momentum of this group up front.
It certainly could, as Kevin Ford having to defend here just slightly from Tyler Shiflett. Shiflett still not able to get his way through. But this is really just a battle for second place at this point between all these drivers. Unless Aeronautic makes a catastrophic error, he looks to be the dominant one here today. Already pulled out 4 seconds in the first 13 minutes of this race. This is Beasley now up on screen. He's trying to fight here with Mitchell Peak. Peak really defending there from Jacob Beasley. Ooh. And you could just see they all kind of get a little bit loose and a little bit wide, like you said. Now we'll see if Beasley's able to make a move. He's got his teammate of David Payton behind him for a little bit of support. Will he be able to grow that gap out just a little bit more than it already is?
We've got one of the GS drivers coming through there as well. That's Peyton with the move down the inside there, side by side, hanging up the hill, but he's able to get it done. Oh, and Peak left a little bit vulnerable there from that move. He's able to hold on to it through that sequence, and down the hurry downs here. One of the harder braking areas on the track. And we'll get a glimpse of the different lines and different approaches to the carousel from these guys here. A couple of them running a touch wider than others. Oh, we can see, yeah, Peak ran a bit wide on the exit, scrubbed off some speed, and that's enabled Beasley to just try and show the nose at the kink, but probably not the best place to try and get that move done. And we can see that GS car looks like Jacobs trying to recover, make his way back through after serving a penalty. Well, it may have just been a warning perhaps, but yeah, he was involved in an incident before and delayed.
He certainly was here. And we'll just keep on watching this MX-5 battle because this is really just incredible right here. The front three, by the way, if you're wondering, are absolutely checked out. They are still at 3.2 seconds. They are a little bit more vulnerable than they have been in laps previous. They have been losing just a little bit of time. And they're all super, super close. We'll actually take a quick look at them. You can fit them all in one camera shot. We couldn't even see John Allen there for a few seconds there. He was so tucked in behind DJ Alessandrini, who runs very, very wide in turn one. You don't want to be doing that every lap, DJ, because there's a good chance that you'll end up in the concrete wall if you do that. 16 minutes in, 1/4 of the way through, 45 minutes left in tonight's event.
Yeah, I mean, well, Alan and Rankin have been happy just to lift and play the train game with DJ up front here, but if he keeps making little errors like that, they might think that they're better off jumping to the front of this queue, because you can see just in the rear of the camera shot there's other guys are catching up.
Yeah, they certainly are indeed. They're down to 2.3 seconds as we see Horan and Beasley side by side. Brandon Horan trying to get his way up into the 9th position. As actually it's been David Payton who's gone all the way to the front of this train. He's currently sits in the 7th position, leading this one out for Mitchell Peak, Jacob Beasley, and Brandon Horan. Jordy Fight, Greg Mack, Jason Bossy, and Derek Holland. That is a very long train here in Air MX-5. Kind of split up here between Jeff Jacobs, but he should be out and away and clear here very, very soon. He actually can't even get by David Payton because David Payton blocks him off just a little bit here.
Yeah, he's still just tucked in behind at the kink there, and he should be able to make his way down through Kettle Bottoms here on the way to Canada Corner. And yeah, safely clears Peyton there. But there's no rest for the ST drivers because the TCR guys are cutting through this field now as well.
Certainly are indeed. And we'll take this opportunity here just before we kind of get in towards your first round of pit stops. We will go non-stop here tonight from Road America. When we come back, we will see excellent racing here in your TCR and MX-5 and Mustang fields here for the Season 16 finale. And we're back here for the Ricmotech SCS ending season finale, if I can speak English tonight, here from Road America. Now, I've just been trying to sort out a few tech issues during our break. We do apologize. Live timing will be down for this event. We're having a little bit of connection issues with our main server right now. So I do apologize for that. Tech problems, they do happen every once in a while, and unfortunately they have struck us here tonight from Road America. So we're just going to trudge on. We're going to do our best here, and we're going to try to get you guys still some awesome pictures. So we're seeing here your lead battle in your MX-5. It hasn't gone anywhere. The lead three are still the lead three, but the biggest change is Robert Hartley is now down to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, just we've seen quite a bit of traffic cutting through with the the TCR and GS cars coming through there. So a little bit of momentum lost and broken up. As you can see, they're not sort of nose to tail. Oh, our TJ a bit loose on the exit there. We've seen that a few times. But yeah, it's definitely going to make this ST class battle very interesting, because it looked like they were going to get away, but not to be. I think we could see more than 3 cars involved in the fight at the top for ST Honours.
Yeah, we certainly could see a nice big battle here in your ST field here tonight. I'm just kind of taking a look here at a little bit of the notes that I had here for pre-race, and from what I've seen here, John Allen has an 8-point advantage over Elvis Rankin, but Elvis Rankin has a very low scores. That's one of the TCRs. That's Edgar Sancinelli. Goes for a bit of rallycross here tonight in the Frito Sport Yellow, or the Frito Sport Racing Yellow Audi TCR. So he goes for a bit of rallycross, able to save it though, and able to get it going in a straight line. Now back to what I was saying though, is that Rankin has a 17 points that he can replace if he has a strong finish here at Road America. And John Allen has to finish in the top 5 to improve his points total at all. So Rankin will need a podium finish to make sure that he will be in the top 3. And Robert Hartley is also making up for a missed race. So any points he earns today will increase his total. He trails Allen by 17 points. And a 6th place finish or higher for him will get him into 2nd for the year ahead of Allen, no matter what Allen does. So that's your little quick rundown on your ST standings. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to calculate that, to be honest with you, on the fly, because that is a lot of ifs, ands, and buts to calculate for people to win the championship. But hey, they are not win the championship, but get 2nd place. But hey, it is mathematically possible.
We'll see. We'll see how we go there. Probably worth just recapping what's happening out in front after we've come back from the break there. So Madigan is under quite a bit of pressure from Eric Violet, and so as you can see, he's pretty much right on the bumper of that car. So a great fight for the overall win and for the TCR class at the moment. Whitworth's just about 3 seconds back from these two as well, so you can just see him in the rear of shot there, perhaps. And so yeah, a good fight happening up the front. They've been able to stick together despite making their way through traffic. In the GS class, we have again, unsurprisingly, Aero Nom out in front, and he has about a 4-second lead thereabouts, I believe. Just making his way through some traffic there.
And Mike Dam was nearly side by side with Daniel Rash, but he thinks better of it. So he doesn't go 3 wide with an MX-5 in the braking zone. Probably the smartest decision that he could have made is to not be doing that here tonight. But he'll still be in a very close pursuit of Daniel Rash in the Mustang field. So everything kind of spreading out a little bit. We have battles for 2nd place in your GS, battle for the lead in TCR, and then battles all the way through the field like usual in your MX-5. Now, Hartley has caught up to the back of Elvis Rankin, who is starting to struggle a little bit here, and he's losing some ground to John Allen and Alessandrini out in the lead. So this pack that was 2 in the second pack has now become 3, and they will now try to chase down your race leaders, who currently lead by 1.7 seconds. Now, do you think Elvis is going to be able to bounce back here, Brad, with the help of Schwenke and Hartley behind?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Now that Hartley has caught Elvis, and we see John Allen dive into the lane there. But yeah, Elvis might actually be better off perhaps letting Hartley through and then just tacking onto the back or in the middle of this this group, because obviously Hartley's got speed. He's been able to close up on Elvis, so it might be better to put him at the front of this group and then just trying to work together behind him. We'll just see how that plays out. Looks like he's happy to try and lead this group at the moment, but Hartley may have other ideas. We'll see as they head down through this section. Looks like the long run down into the moraine sweep. So he's going to get a good tow here. We'll be able to see if he's just going to lift or he's going to duck out, and yeah, he has. He's just pulled out to take that on the inside. Yeah, and we just see Elvis just dab with the brakes just to make sure Hartley was clear there. So yeah, I think this is a good move by that group. Put Hartley out in front. He was obviously closing the gap down, and just see if they can all stay together, and hopefully they'll close that gap to DJ.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to try. We'll see if they'll be able to try and close that gap down to DJ Alessandrini. It's now down to 2 seconds. He doesn't have any more help from his former helper, John Allen, who did dive down into the pit lane. A little bit of an early stop for Allen. He's about a lap early than what we expected him to do in this race. But you can see Madigan, Violet, and Whitworth all down onto the lane now. Will Childs come in? He's the next one to head onto the front straight away. He'll duck to the right-hand side, and he will come onto pit lane. Now, will Kevin Carlisle come down onto pit lane? He started to make his recovery drive here tonight. 31 minutes in. This will be the earliest we've seen TCR come in quite some time, and he will bring that car down onto pit lane here tonight. So this is one of the early stops we've seen in TCR in quite some time, like I said, and this is not typically normal because the entire TCR field has decided to come down on the exact same lap. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, Santinelli decided to come in as well. I think Road America being quite a long lap, it's probably hard to really try and get an extra lap fuel mileage out of it with these cars. So it's probably the case that everyone sort of has to stop on the same lap there, and yeah, plenty of action at the pit entry. It's a lot of cars filing in all classes, it would seem right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like you said, Elvis Rankin and Robert Hartley nearly made contact coming into pit lane, but let's see where John Allen is going to file out in accordance to the rest of this field. Will he be able to jump anyone? Will he file back behind some of the people that he was previously fighting? We'll have to wait and see here. As you can also see, Nam and Daniel Rash, as well as Tyler Shiflett as well. They all come onto the lane at this point in time as well for your Mustang field. Mike Dam, I believe, will come down the lane as well. John Allen, he will come onto the front straightaway now. Nearly fakes it into the pit lane once again, but let's see here. Will John Allen be able to do anything?
Yeah, he knows it's going to be close at the exit here, so he was looking for every little bit of tow he could get from that car there. So, smart driving. Oh, he's going to be in amongst some GS cars here.
Yeah, and he is well and truly out ahead of the rest of this field. And even Rankin and Hartley, they've jumped DJ Alessandrini in the pit stops. Alessandrini now sits 4th overall. Travis Schwenke as well behind Alessandrini. That was like it was before. But the real question, or the real news here, is that John Allen is 4.6 seconds out in the lead. And we're currently 33 minutes in, just over the halfway point in this event here tonight.
Yeah, that's a significant gain over DJ there. Because yeah, that's a good lead, and DJ had a bit of a gap at the front before the stop, so it's a very, very good strategy.
A very good strategy indeed here. So you'll see as they all file through, it's only going to get closer and closer in your MX-5 field. It's going to just go down and down and down at the front here for John Allen, being that he won't have any help. But right now, it's not so much going down, it's actually going up. So as soon as I say that, John Allen immediately proves me wrong. He's up to 5 seconds right now, so he is just growing that gap. These guys need to get in line in this second group and push their way to the front if they want any chance of winning, because if they do, it could maybe be a 5-car battle for the race lead come the end of this one.
Yeah, the trouble has been getting in line has been practically impossible, because there's a fierce, quite a fierce GS battle making their way through that that second group of ST drivers there, and finally now we've had 3 cars clear them, and they'll be able to get back in line now. But yeah, that's definitely played into the hands of John Allen.
It definitely has indeed played into the hands of him, who's currently 5.7 seconds out in the race lead. What a gap he has pulled. Let's take an onboard lap here in John Allen so that he can see what it takes to get around the Road America circuit. And that was an onboard lap with John Allen here around the Road America circuit. We did notice one thing, that John Allen is A, 6.8 seconds out ahead of the field. B, we have a fight for second place. We need to just focus on this really quick because the 4 drivers here all battling for second, and there's contact between DJ Alessandrini and the Mustang. So let's see what happened here. The Mustang comes in, And then contact is made. That's the number 67 of... Oh, that's Steve Daniel. So super, super unfortunate for him. But let's jump back live here because that kind of shook things up a little bit. That only helped John Allen more. He's now up to 8.1 seconds. This man is driving away from the rest of the field. He needed a good result here tonight. He is getting it for himself.
Yeah, this other group have got a bit of fighting happening, which has slowed them up, and they seem to be doing it at the same time that the traffic's trying to make their way past. So it's definitely good things for John there. And just to recap with our TCR class, we actually have a new leader after that pit stop cycle. Eric Violet's out in front with a significant lead of about 8 seconds or so. I believe that's because Matthew Madigan took a couple of tyres in the pit stop.
And he also went very, very wide and nearly hit the wall out of pit lane. So, like you said, I think he also took some tires as well. So that could come to his advantage and also come to his disadvantage later on in the race. We have side-by-side in your GS field. This is Shiflett and Martineau. Martineau trying to get by Tyler Shiflett here, who's stuck in behind the McSabbath MX-5. And Martineau still on the attack here. Kevin Ford sits down in 6th place, just behind this group.
What's that? Yeah, sorry, the 67 that's trying to make the way through here, that contact we just saw before, that's Steve Daniel. He has been given a warning from the stewards for that contact, so he'll be making his way tentatively through. Oh, and that was a TCR very hard into the wall, just off camera there. Yeah, and that's Tony Kernan has just got out of shape.
Wheel disconnect? I think he's had his wheel disconnect.
Possibly. That could be a hardware failure because of that.
Look at it. Yeah, he's had his wheel disconnect. That wheel is fully turned.
Wow, that's...
So I just want you to watch here. Just take a look, and then, yeah, there we go. Full disconnect of the wheel. Somehow he's able to keep it going around, and then he's just full into the wall. That's all Tony Kernan can do. What an unfortunate end to his already unfortunate day here. But we have very hard action here for 5th place. This is Kevin Ford going up in a 5th. Martineau now down to 6th. Now, Kevin Ford will try to go to work on Tyler Shiflett. Daniel Rash, by the way, set the fastest lap of the race. He's taken that from Aero Nom. Daniel Rash has very, very good pace here tonight in your Mustangs. Am I right or am I wrong about that one? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Peyton, or sorry, we have more contact. David Peyton is off the racetrack. And here we go. We'll see exactly what happened. This is Jacob Beasley. What exactly happened? I need to see a better angle of this. Sorry. We have to try to figure out what's going on here because Beasley's just shot off to the side of the racetrack. Into the wall he goes. And then at the same time, what has gone on here? So Beasley's gone off to on the racetrack. Now what's happened? So Chris Dorman spun, and then...
Two separate incidents.
There's 2 separate incidents, but I just want to know what happened with Jacob Beasley. He just shot to the left of the racetrack, straight in to the concrete barrier, and then that was it.
Yeah, so we have Race Control are looking into it. It's currently under review, so we're looking at that between Thorman and Beasley to see exactly what happened. But it did look like 2 separate incidents.
Whitworth's off in TCR. Let's get a replay of this one here. Let's see exactly what happens. Oh, he makes contact with the MX-5 just a little bit here. Then he actually is able to get by the MX-5, cooks it in too deep, and then loops that car straight across the racetrack, and he is off.
That's a bit of a reprieve for Madigan because they were reasonably close, those two. And we've got the bump drafting train heading down the straight here with Rankin out in front. They're doing their best to close the gap to John Allen, but Not sure if it'll be enough, but
yes, they are.
About 15 minutes or so left in the race, so probably no need to get too aggressive just yet.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there's really no need to get too aggressive because really, at the end of the day, they have their end goal in mind, and that is getting themselves up to John Allen. But that's going to be a really tough task to try and do here tonight because they're only 7 seconds. They're 7 seconds behind. That is a long, long way. I mean, I just don't see them catching that in 15 minutes. That would almost have to be half a second a lap for 15 minutes. That's a lot of time to be gaining on John Allen. Considering last lap, they were only 7 100ths quicker.
Yeah, we've got that GS car coming through just behind there as well, and you can see there's a TCR car in the back of shot as well. So, they're not going to have everything their own way here either. So, we'll see just what happens. It looks like perhaps DJ Elvis might be able to get a bit of a break before this traffic comes through. They might actually be able to get away from Hartley here. We'll just see how this plays out. Looks like car 154 has been given the responsibility of that incident and issued with a drive-through penalty. So that's Beasley. He receives a black flag for a drive-through.
Yeah, so Jacob Beasley, after hard contact with the wall, gets himself a drive-through penalty for that incident. And we're still watching this battle here for second place in your MX5 field. The gap for your leaders now come down to 5.9 seconds here today. So the gap is coming down slowly but surely.
Yeah, that was our race leader, Eric Violet, the leader of the TCR class, just making his way through. He's still got about a 6-second lead to Madigan, who's the car just towards the rear of shot there, the next one to come through that pack there, potentially. We've got that GS driver who's been catching far slower than the TCR. Looks like he's going to start making the move down through the straight here.
And that's a tough position to be in. That's Russ Ruddock. And that is a very tough position to be in because you pretty much are threading the needle and you're trying not to hit the other drivers. But look at that gap for your race lead. Look at it plummet here. Oh, so quickly as Russ Ruddock makes a very hard dive on or past these guys. That cost them 0.6 of a second. That's a lot of time lost for this group, but they're still at 5.3 seconds. They now have a more, I think, reasonable chance, being that they caught up 2 seconds on that last lap. They have a very, very reasonable chance now, I think, of being able to actually close that gap. Now, I say that, and they are starting to lose speed again. As you can see, Matt Madigan doing a little bit of rallycross. Matt, we're on the SportsCar series. We're not doing the Rallycross Pro Qualifier yet, mate. Just wait a little bit longer for that one. You have just a couple more months to wait until we can go back to Rallycross racing. But for now, we're in TCR cars. Let's keep it up the racetrack. And he is going to go around the outside. Will he mow the grass again? No, he won't. He keeps it on the racetrack this time.
Yeah, that's what we love about multi-class. It's very rarely a dull moment on track when you have the closing speed difference of these classes.
Yeah, that is so difficult. I mean, I say it, but I've done it so many times myself. When you're the faster class, you pretty much have to make a decision. Do you take to the grass, or do you punt the slower car out of the way? Because really, that is your only two options most times if you're fully committed to it. And you can see here, this is Martineau and Ford. Ford did not have the greatest run. He got into the grass just a little bit out of the corner and did cost himself a little bit of time. But now he's able to get a nice run here, because Martineau did have to pass him into turn number 3. That cost him a little bit of time. Down to turn 5. You can see Ford around the outside. Martineau on the inside. They're still side-by-side door banging here up the hill. Martineau, though, he is going to have to slot into line. Look who's also catching up to Aeronam. This is Daniel Rash. He's now down to 2.3 seconds.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job through. Been doing a great job through the traffic. And you can see Mike Dam is not far behind there either, so there's still a fair bit to play for here in the last 10 minutes or so for GS.
So let's see here the lap gaps here for the drivers that you're seeing on screen. So we have Alan and Allison Drini here. You'll be able to see the gaps here, and then this is the differences over the course of the laps that we've been seeing here tonight. So you can just kind of get a nice little glimpse at how the gap has been coming down. Obviously, the bigger the bar, the bigger the gap, and then you can see how much it's shrunk in the matter of the last few laps in this race today. So it's definitely had large changes in very quick succession, but he seemed to bounce back as John Allen. He's really impressed me here. He's come out of the pits 5 seconds ahead somehow, did an amazing strategy by coming in 1 lap early, and somehow he has pulled out an impressive gap, and he's maintained it even though these guys are all together, pushing each other, trying to get up to him. He's still been able to maintain pace with him, which is really, really, really tough to do at Road America.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if we get to talk to John after the race, because perhaps he was just looking at the relative and he could see the faster class cars about to make their way through and thought, well, I'm just going to go on pit and avoid that so I don't lose any time, and just come up, with most of them already having gone through, and meanwhile the other guys were dealing with that traffic while he was on his outlap. So I think that may have been his thinking. Well, we might get a chance to check that theory. Meanwhile, these guys are still battling hard. DJ's now at the lead of the train. He's taken that from Elvis a little while back.
And we're just under 10 minutes remaining, or we're just 10 minutes remaining here in this event here tonight for the finale, Season 16 finale of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. But I'm honestly thinking that John Allen went for the very ambitious strategy of no tires. Because look at how much he loses here through these fast sweeping corners. He loses usually 0.4 of a second through these. But then he'll gain it all back through the infield where the tires don't really matter that much. So I'm not so sure that he didn't take 4 tires here tonight, or didn't take any tires. And then the others decided to take 2 tires, which then put them so far behind. That's my personal theory. But like you said, I really hope we get to talk to him, because I actually want to figure out what he did.
Yeah, that could be the case as well. So, and you can see Elvis just trying to give DJ a nice little push. And he backs off the car just so DJ has control in the braking area. So a bit of oval skills being used here at Road America today. Oh, DJ.
Oh, and he's going to slide, and he catches it. Wow, what a save for DJ Alessandrini. That's going to put Elvis Rankin to the head of this one. But Alessandrini nearly lost it here.
Yeah. We have Carlisle there as well. He's going to be in the mix.
So your season champion to be, DJ Alessandrini, not having the greatest run through there. You got very, very sideways. And then you're also your other champion to be, Kevin Carlisle, here tonight. He has not had a good night. He's had a terrible night. For his night, I mean, he's just had a terrible night, Kevin Carlisle has. He's not had a very good end to his season here. And you can see Rash and Dam side by side.
I'm sure he'll take some consolation in the fact that he's got the championship anyway. But yeah, he probably wasn't expecting to be almost 40 seconds back off the lead as we come into the final 7 or so minutes.
They all swap positions once again. What happened here to Elvis Rankin and Robert Hartley? Let's get a replay here up on your screen, because Those two now dropped back into third and fourth in the train, and Hartley outbrakes himself, hits the back of Rankin. Rankin able to save it. No one makes contact other than the contact between Rankin and Hartley. Wow, that was very impressive from Allison Drini and Schwenke as well to be able to save that, or to be able to get that car stopped and not hit the side of Elvis Rankin. And also, good on Rankin for being able to save that. There was a very sideways car heading down into Canada Corner.
Yeah, and the seas parted for DJ, and he just managed to make his way straight through there. So he's back at the front of this train, despite his very sideways moment on the previous lap. We do have the incident under review between 54 and 3, and that is Rankin and Hartley. So that might break this train up in the last 5 minutes. We'll see what the decision is from race control.
And
I'll let you know once we see that.
And I wouldn't be surprised. That's a very open and shut case for race control as well. The same thing happens again with Allison Drini Schwenke and Allison Drini this time making contact. What is it with these people and outbraking themselves here in the final 2 laps of this race? So you can see he's pushing him here. Did he just not back off enough? Oh, no, he did. But then just outbroke himself, hit him this time. Luckily for him, he didn't actually take him out this time. But I think it'll be a very open and shut case on the Hartley-Rankin incident. I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting too much controversy from that decision, but you never know. Sometimes race control might see something that we don't, but we'll just wait until they've made the call, and they have just made that call. Car 3, a warning for avoidable contact, so it doesn't look like any penalty there, but yeah, Hartley definitely on thin ice with the stewards.
Yeah, certainly on thin ice here. And I'm sure the incident between Schwenke and Allison Drini may go under review as well. But that was kind of a very light contact, and luckily didn't actually result in anyone going around in that. So, but I think that's pretty much just sealed the deal here for John Allen. 8 seconds out in the race lead. And I think he's pretty much secured it here heading into the final 5 minutes here today. So we're going into the final 4 minutes on the season. Wow. And we just gotten word as well. It's DJ Allison Drini's birthday today, so happy birthday to him. Hopefully he can get himself a decent or a second place result here. That'd be a pretty good birthday present.
Yeah, it looks like he's been celebrating a bit on track already, like throwing that car around a bit, enjoying himself. So very flamboyant driving style from DJ.
Look who's brought the gap down for your lead in GS. Daniel Rash. He's closing down on your race leader, Aero Nam. He has a chance to claim a race victory here as Nam gets held up behind 2 slowed MX-5s here. He's still kicking out. Oh, and Aero Nam's around. He's spun around by the MX-5, and that's actually promoted Mike Dam to the race lead. Aero Nam is going to be furious with that MX-5.
Yeah, heading into the final turn there, they were side by side, and he almost looked to go down in between them, and then he did the smart thing and backed off, and then unfortunately just got turned around.
And that promotes Mike.
Think of that, but yeah,
that promotes Mike Dam to. That promotes Mike Dam to the race lead. Daniel Rash will still be in second, but now he has 3 seconds to close in on Mike Dam, who was very, very quick behind him.
And that's a quick message from race control. Chris Thorman, car 60, has been given a drive-through penalty.
So Chris Thorman has been given a drive-through penalty for that incident, like you said. Now we still watch this battle here in your MX-5 field. These guys are still so close between them, and there's nothing separating them. Let's check in with Eric Violet, your leader in TCR. He will come around. He will get another lap after this one. So these guys will be on their second to last lap, or their coming up to their second to last lap. Then they will have one more lap to go after this one. So they still have a decent amount of racing left to do. It is definitely not all done and dusted here tonight.
Well, yeah, we've just seen how quickly things can change, but yeah, Eric's got about a 9-second lead out the front there for TCR. Madigan and Whitworth pretty comfortable in their positions as well. And we've just seen the GS battle change the order, and they're spaced out a little bit now, unfortunately, after that. So this MX5 battle for P2 is the closest action we have on track.
Side by side. And Allison Journey pushes
Schwenke
wide, and that's going to put Schwenke up into second, Rankin up into third, and then Hartley slots him behind for fifth. Now it's Allison Journey immediately going back down the inside, but Hartley able to defend it quite nice, or Hartley trying to go back down the inside. Allison Journey able to defend it nicely.
Yeah, we've just seen over the last couple of laps, I mean, it's become clear that they're not going to catch John unless something disastrous happens for him. So whatever gentleman's agreement these guys had previously, that's been torn up and thrown out the cockpit because
Hartley,
the gloves are off.
Double move for Hartley. Sorry for interrupting you there, but Hartley made a double move here. He went from fourth in the train up to second. Now it's Allison Journey trying to make a move on Schwenke, so Schwenke may go from the head of this train all the way down to fourth in a matter of a few corners. He's side by side here with Allison Drini. They can't do too much fighting or they will lose the toe to the driver's ahead, but it's Rankin leading this group out. Then it's Hartley, Allison Drini, and Schwenke. So a big changes in a matter of 2 corners.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to be on the podium, and only 2 of these guys are going to get there. So I think we're going to see some aggressive driving in the closing stages for the ST guys here. So they always put on a good show. So through the kink, heading down through Kettle Bottoms towards Canada Corner, just trying to get that toe there. See, DJ getting quite close to Hartley under brakes at Canada Corner. Thinks better of making a move though. I think they're all just trying to set themselves up for the at least run along the main straight. And
they will be heading on to white flag here this time by. So it'll be Allen who will take the white flag first here for your MX5 field. And it'll be Rankin, Hartley, Allison Drini, and Schwenke as they all head down to the line. Now it's Hartley trying to make a move on Elvis Rankin. He's going to be side by side. Allison Drini's going to go with him.
Can actually see the brake lights flashing on a little bit on Rankin's car there, so that could be strategic. He could have been not wanting to be at the front so early in the lap. So that'll be something to watch for here.
Yeah, it probably isn't the worst idea to try and get the run with someone else on the later stage of this. If he wants to plan this perfectly, he needs to be in the second car in line and then just get pushed pretty much to the promised land of second place. So this is where the mind games come in. This is where the experience takes its toll, is right here. Is who can outsmart who when it comes to moves. You can see there, Allison Drini tries to go by, and as Violet wins the race, sorry we didn't fully catch that one there. And then it'll be Kevin Ford comes through. Martineau and Rash actually has to come down on a pit lane. He finishes down in 6th. That's a very unfortunate end to his day. But we'll jump back here to your MX-5s because Rankin and Hartley are side by side through the infield section. And Hartley will have to back out of it, I believe. Allison Drini is very wide indeed as well. As they all work their way through. This is so incredible. We can't leave this MX-5 battle right now. We got to watch this one to the end.
So yeah, I mean, Rankin, he was in the lead. He dropped back to 3rd, looked like deliberately, heading into turn 1. He's now moved himself up into 2nd in this train. So it's very much a game of chess, and at the moment, I probably wouldn't want to be in DJ's position.
Oh, and Rankin
Is he
pops out
gonna try and take
early.
it?
Rankin, he's trying it down into Canada corner this time. No one goes with him, though. And you'll see Hartley, he'll try to make the move around the outside. Rubber Hartley can't make it this time. And if they're going to still be side by side as they head up the hill, Rankin goes around, there's contact, and he's going to be off and into the wall. Well, Elvis Rankin, that's an unfortunate end to his race. We need to stay with this battle, though, because I believe it's DJ Alessandrini coming through to claim second place. John Allen will come across the line to win, but it'll be DJ Alessandrini in second, Robert Hartley in third, and Elvis Rankin will limp that car home.
Yeah.
We need a replay of that. Sorry, but we need a replay of that. Don't really... I gotta see what happened here. Let's go from the chopper cam. I want to see this from an up-top camera of exactly what happened. So Rankin sort of came over there on Hartley, I believe, and then Hartley didn't really leave him all that much space. Yeah, just a little bit of contact. That sent him around, and then Rankin away off and into the barriers there. But, I mean, that's hard to put that on who caused that and then end there. But your final race results.
Just hard racing for the podium at the end there. It's a racing incident, I would say, but... yeah, maybe Elvis could have just tried to get a good exit from the final corner and take DJ to the run to the line, perhaps, but we'll never know.
You certainly maybe could have there, but let's take a look here at your finishing order here tonight. So it'll be Eric Violet who wins from Matt Madigan, Brandon Whitworth, Bobby Childs, Kevin Carlisle, not the best end of his season, but he still will claim the championship. Mike Dam, Aero Nom finishes second in your... Mike Dam wins in your Mustangs. Aeronom finishes second. Then it's Tyler Shiflett, Kevin Ford, Cameron Martineau, Clint Vigas, Steve Daniel, Daniel Rash, Russ Ruddick, and Robert Brist. That is your complete Mustang field. Aeronom claims championship in that. And then it's John Allen, DJ Alessandrini, Robert Hartley, Travis Schwenke, Elvis Rankin, Jordy Fike, Mitchell Peak, Jason Bossy, Brandon Huron, Greg Mack, Derek Holland, Nicholas Parsono, and then it is Michael Key, Eric Klister, Greg Brockway, David Payton, Chris Thorman, Patrick Prevenosh, Jeff Jacobs, Jacob Beasley, Tony Kernan, Mike Taylor, and then it'll be Andrew Downey and your race marshal tonight. But it is still DJ Alessandrini who claims the championship in your ST field. So we'll just wait for all the drivers to come in. Eric Violet's already here and waiting for an interview here tonight. Let's go ahead and pull him in, and Brad, you will be stood alongside him.
Hi, Eric. Welcome to the Apex commentary booth.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Congratulations on taking out the final win for the series. Before we move on to a slightly different format next season, eventful race out there. How did things play out for you, mate?
Yeah, kind of weird in the beginning. Brendan and I think Kevin got caught up there, and Brendan was sideways at 30 seconds into the race, right in front of my nose, and there was a lot of traffic. Wasn't too bad. There was a few times where I saw that some people were coming back from about 10 seconds, and then there were 3 seconds, but all in all, it worked out. I think the traffic was one of those situations where it giveth and it taketh away. So I think it worked out for me pretty well.
Yeah, just looking at the pit stop cycle there, it looked like Matthew may have taken some front tires there, which had him come out significantly behind you after that stop, and then I believe he probably had a cold tire moment at turn 1 when he came out. So from then, it looked like it was not too much pressure, but yeah, there was still so much happening with the traffic.
Yeah, I was pitted right behind him. I didn't see him go up in the air. I'll watch the replay, but I don't think he took tires, so I'm not sure what happened there. If he had some damage to get repaired or something. But yeah, he was. I didn't count on coming out in front of him that much. I was thinking if he didn't take tires, I might get a second on him or so. But yeah, when I was released and he was still in the box, I was kind of scratching my head a bit.
Yeah, it had us guessing for a little bit there, but from what I could see, it looked like he must have taken fronts. But yeah, congratulations on the result. and a nice way to finish off the season, taking some momentum into the next one. What can we expect to see you driving next season?
I think right now it's gonna be more of the same for me. I know some guys might want to go to the Porsche, but I'm digging the TCR. It's competitive, and I think with the new, I think there'll be some more people in next season, so that'll be a lot more fun, bigger field for the class.
Yeah, certainly will be. So, again, congratulations. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you leave?
Yeah, of course, all the admins, everybody in the league here at Extreme Motorsports 99. Got Pro Forma Elite Texas Graphics on the car. Chris Thorman's been really a great sponsor, great teammate. Of course, my teammates, they're all great, really fun guys. You guys, Apex Racing TV, shout out to you guys. Emmy, who's probably watching right now, and of course my wife, who lets me do this. And I don't know how
Not a
the
problem.
points came out, but I think I might have clinched third in the championship. So we'll find out in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. It was a bit hard for us to try and keep track of that just right at the end because there was so much happening. But
Yep.
anyway, we'll see if we can get confirmation of that. But yeah, we'll see you out again next season, mate. Cheers.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
We will take Mike Dam next. Mike, that was a bit of an eventful final, I want to say 2 to 3 minutes for you. So you were third place for the majority of that race. And then the seas parted ways, and here you go. You're the race lead 2 minutes to the end. Talk us through that kind of last few minutes in that incident there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That race was shaping up. Was just following Dan there. Yeah, I was struggling to keep on pace there. Dan was running pretty fast. But yeah, it was looking like it was going to shape up there. Era was dealing with traffic. It was closing up. We were just slowly gaining on, and yeah, it was gonna be really tight there at the end.
Yeah, it looked like it was definitely going to be an extremely tight battle to the end, and then the seas parted ways, and you were leading. What was kind of your strategy going into this race? Obviously, you've raced at Road America countless times just in the sports car series, so you definitely have experience here. You have experience here in the Mustang. So kind of what did you kind of have your plan be going into the race? Were you kind of trying to gun and lead, or were you perfectly content with sitting down in second or third place? Because that's what it looked like, is you were just content with sitting back and letting the others do the work, and you just kind of try to tag along and save your equipment.
Yeah, to be honest, qualifying kind of threw a curveball at me. I didn't really get a good time, so that kind of changed my look on the race. Started from sixth. I kind of had to just. I didn't want to throw the car anywhere and risk anything, so I just took my time, and the opportunities presented themselves, and it seemed to work. I was in third after a few laps there, and then I was lucky to be behind Dan. Dan was running some insane laps, so we just were able to just pull on Euro there. So yeah, just patience. It worked out for me. Obviously, I didn't necessarily deserve the win, but I'll take it. But that's definitely a good result for a pretty decent strategy.
Well, congratulations once again on the win here in the final round of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here for Season 16.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. And congrats on position 2 in the championship too.
And next we will talk with John. Brad, you will be stowed alongside your MX-5 winner, John Allen.
Hi, John. Welcome to the Apex Country booth, and congratulations on what turned out to be quite a commanding win there at the end. Definitely some difference in strategy. We saw you come in just a little bit earlier than the other cars, and we weren't sure if that gap that you came out with was as a result of avoiding the faster traffic that was coming through, or if you decided to skip tires. So how did that play out, mate?
Definitely took tires. Yeah, they were free here. The pit window was pretty small, so I just wanted to I knew several different options for time windows to fuel amounts that would get me to the end, even if we had the extra lap based on when the TCR is finished. So I just wanted to be sure I had that in the bag. And the way it shook out, that train was breaking up a little bit, and I knew that if I pitted, then the draft to DJ would be broken to the next pack, and they had been driving pretty hard to get us after Elvis, fell back a little bit. So my goal was to kind of get them focused on themselves. I knew I'd saved a lot of fuel behind DJ, and I went ahead and took advantage of it, knowing I'd come out in a pretty good gap in traffic.
Yeah, well, it's definitely played out exactly as you hoped there, and the win secures your second place in the championship for ST Pro as well. So congratulations on that. Was there any sort of heart in mouth moments for you during that one? Because there was certainly a lot going on.
I actually ran really clean. I had one incident the whole race, and it was a little bit of door to door with Edgar Sancinelli when he came through in the TCR. Just an awkward spot to catch us in like turn 5, and he tried 3 turns in a row to try it inside, try it outside, but give each other room, and we got a little bit of each other in turn 7, and only because he went off as a result did I have any incidents at all. So I felt pretty well under control. It's something about the first race of the season and the last race of the season. Going back several seasons now, those are my absolute best performances. I don't know what it is, but that's the pattern that's beginning to form.
Okay, well, hopefully you can build on that pattern and break it up a bit throughout the next season. What can we expect to see you in? Are you going to stick to the MX5 in the Classic series? Are you going to try and spread yourself across both, or what's the plan for next season?
Originally, I had been planning to make a move, but there's, with this boom in the sim racing industry as a result of world events, I've got so many other leagues that I'm either helping administrate or being a part of, or trying to do some coaching on the sim, things that take enough time. I think I'm not going to change that one variable, so I should be back in the Mazda for next season.
Not a problem. Well, we look forward to seeing you out there and seeing if you can perhaps take the fight to DJ for a championship next time around.
Yeah, I think I can. I've done it before. Just got to string a few together, and want to get a shout out in tonight too. Maybe the secret was having a spotter for the first time in ages. So my buddy Tony jumped on and was in my ear the whole time, and we played it out pretty.
Well, it's always nice to have someone in your ear there helping, especially with that multi-class traffic. So it's a good job from him as well. And anyone else you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
As it's the finale, just make sure to thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast, and you guys know full well all the work that goes in behind the scenes from Kevin and Jeff and the whole crew and Bobby, and everybody plays a small role, but Kevin and Jeff play huge roles, and we appreciate it. So
not a problem. All the best, John, and we look forward to seeing you next season.
Thanks, guys.
And next we will bring in your TCR champion. By our calculations, Kevin, you have won the championship here for TCR in its inaugural season that it comes to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. How does that feel?
That feels pretty good. I'm not a known road racer, so it's pretty cool to win something in these things. And I've had so much fun this season just wheeling this car. I'm mostly do rallycross, and ever hop in this car is so foreign. I mean, they both have a lot of understeer, but it's just such a different element. And I think me and Kevin Ford were talking about road racing is kind of like ballet dancing. I said rallycross is like a street fight at school cafeteria or something. So it's a completely different animal. It's been fun.
I think that's probably one of the best ways I've ever heard rallycross and road racing be connected, because that truly is what it is. I mean, like you said, rallycross, you are just manhandling a car around most of the time, where the road car, you just kind of got to be delicate with it and really hit your marks every lap. So it can definitely be a challenge, but I mean, what a job you've done this season, able to clinch the title. I believe you had it clinched before we came in. That's by our calculations, but like I said, we'll have to confirm that with the series admins. But again, you've had a pretty good season, a little bit of highs, a little bit of lows, but in the end, it's paid off.
Yeah, I could never get 3 in a row. I thought about that before this race. I was like, all right, this would be 3 in a row if I won. I haven't gotten that yet, so I feel like it's bad luck. And then sure enough, turn one, I screwed up everything. I'm pretty sure I pushed Brandon a little wide there, and the cars on cold tires just have absolutely no grip. So I'm on the inside. I had to take a lot more shallow entry, and it just got really really tight. And I think me and Brandon just touched fenders and that upset his car into the grass, and that just caused a whole mess. So that if that was actually my fault, I apologize to Brandon and the whole field. But it was just a racing incident. I don't know if I should have been black flag. That's not my call, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, congratulations nonetheless on your win here in the TCR Championship here for Season 16. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, everyone, Apex Racing Team, such an awesome group of guys. Apex Racing TV, you guys in the booth do such an amazing job every week. The Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Series Sports Car Championship has been awesome. It's been really fun to drive these cars, and thanks to everybody at home. Special thanks to Matt Madigan for helping me all this season. He's been kind of like a interim teammate. We spar with each other on track, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations once again, Kevin. We hope to see you back next season in the Sports Car Series back in the TCR, I'm assuming.
I hope so. I know I got Rallycross to do, and I have also another TCR league, so it's gonna be a lot on my plate. But I'm gonna do what I can.
All right, well, we hope to see you back next season, which starts up in a few weeks' time.
All right, thank you.
And for our final interview tonight, Brad, you will be stood along with DJ Alessandrini.
Hey, guys.
Hi, DJ. Welcome to the booth, and congratulations on taking out the SD Pro Championship. The win wasn't to be tonight, but I guess just quite an eventful race. If you can just give us a bit of a recap from your point of view.
It started off with just a bunch of chaos in the beginning, and then we had like a little squad of 3. We were trying to break the draft, so we were working together, and that was working for a while. And then some of the other class traffic started getting in the way. So by the time we came into our pit stops, it was kind of we were all just back together, and John nailed his fuel uptake, and he also something that we were just talking about this, but something I didn't really think about is how if you're by yourself, it's easier to manage the traffic because you might be able to give like a little lift so you get a good run out of the corner. But when traffic comes up to a squad of 4 Miatas, they kind of feel like they have to pass everybody in one swoop, and that will kind of generally slow the whole pack down. And when the pack gets slowed down, everybody's slowed down. And John had the flexibility of that not happening. So that's just something I didn't think about before the race, or maybe I would have tried to squeak out a lap early pit stop. My calculations were showing that would have been really tight, and it was tight for John. And I just thought I would go with something a little safer. I thought, Road America, I tend to find my way to the front of a pack. So as long as we're all in a pack, it doesn't really matter when I pit. But I didn't anticipate John just running away with it. So, I mean, I did find my way to the end of the front of that second pack, but it didn't matter because we were fighting for runner up. And I do these races to try to get the wins, and John was just too strong tonight.
Yeah, it was certainly an interesting strategy that he had. We were kind of speculating on that during the race, so played out well for him. But yeah, congrats on another podium to round out the season. And was there anyone you want to shout out to for the end of season here before we sign off?
Yeah, shout out to all the guys in Discord. Everybody that was in that Discord, we none of us could have placed better. We got top spots in everything that we participated in tonight. So good job for those guys. I think that's the first time we've ever done that. So awesome job to all of them. And it was a great season. It was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys for the whole season. So
no worries, DJ. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out next season. And I'm sure you'll be put on a great show once again. Cheers.
Take it easy, guys.
And that is it for our interviews here tonight from Road America. That's it for Season 16. Join us back in a fortnight's time for the introduction of Season 17 and our 2 split seasons. But for myself, Tyler Maxson, Brad Clank's been alongside me. We'll see you next season.